Welcome everybody. We are at brown belt. There are 3 levels of brown and it goes backwards. It goes brown level 3, brown 2, and brown 1, and then black belt. Okay, so we're at the first level brown, but what's called brown 3. So it's a little confusing, but you just have to follow the system and follow the way I list them in order on the, whether it be YouTube or Facebook, they all have a topic listing on them to keep you on track. This list is a little neglected. All right, typically most of my lists follow a certain theme, and this does follow a theme, but it's about not mirroring the attacker. All right, so we talk about people that are coming at us in random ways, whether they're coming at us as a trained kickboxer or boxer, whether they're coming at us as an MMA guy or person, whether they're coming at us with like a wrestler. So we cover a lot of different styles. We also introduce you to certain principles, like if a person's hands disappear, or even an introductory to what we deal with when we deal with multiple attacks. So it's kind of a neglected list, and then we finish it off with actual knife attacks. So we did the static knife, now we're going to be doing the more dynamic knife. So it's a little bit of a diversified list, and I think you're going to enjoy it. It happens to be one of my favorites, actually, even though we're not supposed to have favorites. Remember, every day we put a video up on Facebook group page, American Jiu-Jitsu LI. We also put up on YouTube, we have the library, it's a little ahead of Facebook. We have an entire library, which we put those up every day as well. All the new videos at American Jiu-Jitsu LI. Make sure when you go to that you watch a video, you like it, and subscribe to it. And then we are now starting to do IGTV on Instagram, which basically, if you're following my Instagram page, you'll just see it's a different format. In addition to that, we are doing Zoom classes pretty much every day except for Sunday. Go to AJJCenters.com for the entire list of the Zoom class. Download the app Zoom onto your phone, tablet, or your computer, and you have to enter the code, which is on the website. You're going to need a password, and you'll get that password either by communicating to another American Jiu-Jitsu student, looking for my contact number on any one of my social medias. You could reach out to me, or go to my email, osenseijoe@gmail.com, and I will send you the password you need to get into the Zoom meetings. All right, so you have your videos that you can do whenever you want, and then you got all this social media and live virtual dojos that you can use 6 days a week. So we're giving you content, we're keeping you busy, and we're keeping you excited with American Jiu-Jitsu. So this technique, the first one, is one of the rules of Jiu-Jitsu is that if a person's hands disappear, no good. We don't know if they're going to pull a gun. We don't know if they're going to pull a knife. We have no idea what they're going to pull. So when a person's hands disappear, you must learn to command the person that I need to see your hands. I've been in situations where I've done security, I've done bodyguarding, I've done my own events where and you do not lose your hands when you're in front of me. Just not acceptable. So you must have a voice of command. Hey, buddy, I want to see your hands. Don't put your hands away. You know, people wear those hoodies and they have those kangaroo-type pockets. You have no idea what they're going to pull out. I don't care if they're going to pull a cell phone or wallet or their identification. If I tell you not to put your hands in your pocket, you need to listen to me, because I'm not going to find out when it's too late or that you did pull out a weapon that I should have been a little bit more commanding. Okay? So this technique addresses that, where if the person's hands disappear, we pin that hand to the person's body so they cannot pull it out. We get behind them, and then we use a technique called the haragatami to find out how severe or not we have to be with this technique. We can bring the person down to the ground, but today we're going to show you the haragatami. So, here's the situation. See how Billy makes an approach to the attacker?
I want to see your hands. Let them disappear.
Boom, he pins that front hand, brings it, takes the hand out, haragatami is an extender. Watch that one more time. Notice, stop on the pin, please. Notice as he asks her not...
Don't let your hands disappear. Don't let them disappear.
Her hands disappear. He pins the hand right there. So now, no matter what she has in that pocket, it's not going to come out that easily. Now he goes behind her, extends it, rips that hand out, and now she's clear to finding out what was or wasn't in her pocket. Okay, so that's the first technique. Like I said, this category kind of goes a little bit different places because it's mirroring the kind of attacker that we're dealing with. So it's a little bit not as formed as some of the other levels, okay? On this attack, this is like an introductory to multiple attacks. Now we have a whole bunch of principles that go into multiple attacks, but what we have to learn to do is we have to be able to adjust the person so that I can use that person as a shield in basically 360 degrees. So this kind of doesn't talk about multiple attacks in one breath, but it is introducing you to how we are going to teach you multiple attacks. So this is when a person is coming at us with a high punch, and we want to show you how we can bring this person around and control them in any which way we could. So he's going to go back in what we call a tazabaki. He's going to kick with the rear leg. He's going to use a bear claw right to the person's face. And now watch, where the head goes, the body follows. He's going to get behind her. And now from here, if there was an attack in here, or here, or here, there wasn't social distancing in place. Now from here, you can break and take that person out. I don't know if that would happen today. You're in a multiple attack situation, you could yell out to people, hey, social distancing, social, I don't know if that would work, but you know, hey, it's a joke of the times, let's just say. If you watch this video 10 years from now, you'll probably be like, what the heck is he talking about? All right, and I hope in 10 years we do forget about this. All right, so now this is a kind of a cool technique. Action, reaction. When a person pushes you, people usually want to push back. Now the problem with that is when a person pushes you and then you push back, what if that was a knife in the person's hand? So what we're going to do is when the person pushes, we're going to avoid the push. Let the train go by. We don't need to fight the train. And now we're going to do that haragatami. So as the person pushes, I get by, I come around, and I lock it up. Watch them do it. All right, so she pushes, he gets by, gets behind, and locks him up. Let's see that from the other side. Action, reaction, you're going to want to push back. Don't do that. Get away, avoid it, and there's how you lock the person up. Next technique is a brawler's approach. All right, this is a technique where people read. We teach you how to read different attackers. Person puts their hands like this. We know there's some type of boxer, possible kickboxer, but they're a fighter. A person does this, they're a tough guy. So what we want to do is never mirror the attacker of the individual. So from here, when that person comes at like a tough guy, we're going to step back into that defensive stance because now they're going to think we're cowering back and we don't know anything. That's fine, okay? But now we're going to take that lead hand, strike to the person's face because they were coming at us like this, strike to the person's face, what we call an atemi. We're going to grab the person's head, boom, we're going to headbutt, very hard to block a headbutt. We're going to take that tiger mouth, put it right against their throat, and we're going to bring the person down to the ground. So this is what we call a bully approach. So the person's making that approach, lead hand atemi, boom, grabs the head and headbutts. From here, boom, takes the hand around the throat, takes her down with his sotogeri, and finishes her off, boom. So notice how we're never mirroring the attacker of the other person, okay? Now the person, we know the fight's about to go down. We have no question this fight's about to go down. So now we're going to be the aggressor. Typically, in most of the things, we're teaching you offense, defense. A person comes at us, we're defending ourselves. This one, we're going after the person probably quicker because we know it's about to go down. So what we're going to do is we're not going to waste any time, okay? We're going to kick to the groin with that front leg, which is going to bring the person up. Bang, we're going to drive with an upward elbow strike, which is going to drive the person's head up, and then we're going to go for a double A takedown and take this person down. We know it's about to go down. We're not going to question it. So from here, as he puts his hands up, he sees it's about to go down, kicks. Boom, upward elbow strike, boom, and now drives out, double A takedown, and finishes off. All right? One more time, opposite side, please. So this is definitely an aggressive technique. From here, kicks, upward elbow strike, boom, takes the double A takedown from here, and knees right to the groin. Now, a lot of times when people see the double A takedown, they say, well, that's not the way the grappler does it, and that's not the way the MMA fighter. We respect so much the MMA people. I don't know why the MMA people sometimes want to say, well, we're not that. I respect, I was one of the biggest promoters in New York. We did shows. When you kick the person to the groin, and when you do things that are not legal in MMA, you can do the throws a little bit differently. So if I was teaching MMA, I would not show the throw that way because I have to follow the rule books. But because we're kicking in the groin, upward elbow strike to the chin, there's a lot more flexibility with our double leg takedown than if you were in a competitive mode. Not better or worse, it's just different. So I commend the people that are in the MMA world, but what you need to do is respect what we're doing because we're not following those rules. We don't have to. There's no rule books in street fighting. Okay? Now, with that being said, let's move on to the next technique. Now the person goes to shoot at us. All right? As they go to shoot at us, again, we don't follow the rules of MMA. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that hand and go right to the person's eye. That's illegal. Okay? Right to the person's eye. We're just going to pop the hand up. This hand's behind the head after we pop, and we're going to come up and do a front guillotine choke. We could actually kill somebody with this technique. All right? So from here, boom, we drive. We come over the top. boom, we take the person over, and that's a done deal after that technique. Now the person comes at us like they're a boxer, but they're not throwing any punches. They're kind of just intimidating us or trying to intimidate us. Now we're going to go into a defensive stance, hey, me now we're in trouble, and this person thinks they have a gift because now they have a target. Again, we never mirror the attacker over the person. So our hands are up from here, and now what we're going to do, because they haven't thrown a punch yet, is we are going to throw a kick. We're going to throw a kick, we're going to throw a left-right combination, and then we're going to take the person down with what we call a single leg takedown. So from here, our hands are up, he's going to kick, boom, left-right combination, boom, takes that front leg out, single leg takedown, and from here, drops that knee into the groin and calls it a day. Now the boxer decides to throw a punch. So they're going to come at us with a left-right combination, and we're going to do our blocking. So from here, left-right combination, he goes behind. The person decides to pull back up. He's going to take a sotogeri, bring the person down, finishes it off with a punch right to the face. Okay? Now the person throws a hook at us. We're going to use avoidance. So when that hook comes down, we're going to drop underneath. And again, we're going to go for that single leg takedown. So we drop underneath. There's the leg staring at us. Finish her off with the knee to the groin, and we're done. Okay? Now, this is the wrestler coming at us. Okay? So when the wrestler comes at us, they kind of shoot. They have a very focused dimension on what they're going to do, and they're going to hit a little bit of a brick wall. We're going to take that upward elbow strike. It takes about 10 pounds of pressure to break a person's clavicle. We're going to hit that clavicle area. We're going to drive him into a knee strike, and then we're going to do it a wheel throw. So it's going to be upward elbow strike, knee strike, and then we're going to drive him into what we call a wheel throw. So she comes, boom, knee strike, takes the head, where the head goes, the body follows, and finishes the person off. Let's do that one more time from the opposite side. Boom, drives, wheel throw, and finishes the person off. Beautiful. Okay. So we got a couple more techniques, choke techniques, and then we're going to move on to the second part of the video, which is going to be a knife attack. Okay? So on this one, so years ago when I taught this, everybody had hair. Now, it's very fashionable not to have hair. So we show you two different variations. So the first one, these are called carotid artery techniques. These techniques will knock a person out quicker than the lethal technique, which is the windpipe choke. There's a lot of controversy about choking, okay? Like I always say, I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. So you use what you need. The first one is a non-lethal technique, and it will knock a person out within under 3 seconds. Okay, we're going into the carotid artery. We're going from behind the person. Why are we taking you into a technique where we're coming after somebody from behind? Well, we don't know what the situation is. Maybe that person has a gun. Maybe they're spraying bullets. Maybe this is a hostage situation. You were able to get behind. Maybe you came home to see a person in your house and you were able to get behind the person. We put the reasons in it later. First you learn the technique, and then we explain to you how we got here. Okay, so remember, in video, it's kind of broad, and I can't answer your questions. But if you were in front of me, I can tell you exactly why we're doing these techniques. So the first one is the person has hair. So we want to grab that handle. So he grabs the handle, bends the head back, comes over the top from here, and chokes the person out. Okay, just hold and choke. Okay, right. So let's do that one more time. He grabs the head from here, strikes, and then chokes the person out. Okay, the next one, the person doesn't have hair. So now he's going to strike, grab the sleeve, boom, come around, and chokes the person out. Now the last one is a lethal technique where we're going to drive to the person's body and grab the head, and then we're going to do what they call a full choke, which is actually to the windpipe, which is a lethal type of technique. So he drives, boom, comes around, grabs his own bicep, turns to the camera, easy, and there, right there, that technique will get into the windpipe and do major damage. Let's do it one more time. Start out from the back, by the way.
Start this way?
Yeah. So he drives to the back to get the reaction, boom, comes over the top with the hand, grabs his own bicep, done deal, done. Okay. So we're going to make one more video for this belt because we're starting to run a little bit over. And what I want to say to you is this. I want to say that, I say this in all the videos, that the most important thing about life, the most important thing about training is we never give up, okay? What happens sometimes in life is what defines us as individuals and people. So we're always looking to get better. You know, I've been training since 1969. I've been doing this for over 50 years. People say to me, when am I going to retire? I'm so bored sitting home. That's why I'm doing these things. I hope to be doing this for the rest of my life. I hope it's something I could share with you that you would say the same thing. I'll leave you with one thought. For the people who train in the martial arts, and if you're looking at this and if you made it to this far in the video, I'll ask you a question. How much would you sell all your training for? How much would you sell all your training for? Would you sell it for $1 million and sell all your contacts, all your connections, all your wisdom, all your knowledge, everything you know, would you sell it for $1 million? I've asked that question over the last 50 years of my life to many, many thousands of people, and anybody who's a true martial artist would say there is no value, I would never sell it. So we invest in learning the martial arts. We pay to learn martial arts. We invest our time in learning martial arts. It's one of the best commodities you could have, especially in today's unsure world, whereas people get desperate, people do desperate things. From a philosophy standpoint, from a physical standpoint, from a awareness standpoint, it's an amazing investment. So that's what you're doing. You're not just learning these videos to learn these physical techniques, but you're learning more about self-worth, and you're investing in something that you couldn't even put a figure on, because it changes people's lives. And that's what we're all about, American Jiu-Jitsu, changing people's life. 3 things always remember today in today's world. Stay home, stay safe, stay healthy. We will be back in the dojo soon enough. And when we are, American Jiu-Jitsu LI, Instagram, Facebook, check them out. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kathy and Billy, for helping us with this video. Have a great day, people. Video 2 is coming up.